Trigger warning. Silvia's first birth, there is obstetric violence, neglect, and bullying. Thankfully, in her second birth, Silvia experiences healing, empowerment, and renewed confidence.
I stopped. I just stopped. I lay down on the bed. I said, "Well, I can't." So my name is Silvia. I'm Italian, living here in Portugal since 2018. Here with my partner, he's also Italian. I'm a vet. I study veterinary in Italian. Here I changed job and now I'm a farmer. So I stopped working with animals and I started work with vegetables and plants. We started to have our family here in Portugal. Today is the birthday of Sebastian, of my first child, and it's also the anniversary of my trauma. A mix of emotion. The first birth experience in 2019, before COVID, no restriction. I had a really beautiful pregnancy, really perfect. I was studying a lot about birth, about connection, hormone connection, and about how the oxytocin was able to modify also breastfeeding. So it was super important hormone. I was looking for a quiet room, quiet place with my husband. I did yoga every morning, meditation, hypnobird. I was like, I can do it. Super optimistic, super confident. Because also I'm a vet, I was able to scientific articles about birth. I was quite confident on my knowledge. The first big impact with Portuguese hospital to schedule the induction. And I said, no, I don't want to do an induction. I want to wait. And she was saying, okay, you are going to kill your son. She really scared me. It's natural. You don't have a date. Nobody knows. So why I have to schedule an induction? I was 40 weeks. I'm not going to choose for an induction, but I wanna keep doing the appointment so we can check and we can see if something changed. And she answered me that if the hospital will not follow me anymore. I was like, why? So they didn't give me another appointment. They just said, you can come here just if you have the induction. I left the hospital. I know that it's the right choice for me, but I'm scared. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong and I feel guilty. So I spoke a lot with my husband and I said, I need to pass through a natural birth and I don't want an induction. And my husband was really, it's your body, I'm with you. You have knowledge, you have the competence, you have everything to choose what is right for you and I'm with you. Didn't sleep the night after the appointment. I felt that they put a lot of fear in me. This pressure on my shoulder about killing my son was really hard for me to pass through this. The day before I want to schedule the induction, I broke the water in the night. I spent more or less 6 or 7 hours in the water and relaxing and feel the contraction. I was so proud of myself. And my cat was also with me, was like looking at me and checking on me. It was super nice. At 7 o'clock more or less in the morning, I woke up my husband and I said, we have to go to the hospital. Loures, it's more or less 25 minutes from here. I remember that because I had 5 contractions during the way to the hospital. I had my music in the car, I had my husband, and I was relaxing, and still I have such a beautiful memory of this period at home, in the car. That it's weird because you are labor in the car, you felt like, no, it was beautiful. We arrived in the morning in the hospital. In the reception, they were really cold, checked my dilatation, and they checked pregnancy book, and they said, okay, you can go directly to the room. I said, my husband is parking. Don't worry, we are going to tell him where to find you. Husband had my bag with food, the drinks, aromatherapy, and everything that I put inside. I was in the room alone, and I start to feel really cold. Start to say, I'm not feeling good, I'm freezing. I checked with the nurse, I said, it's really cold inside, and can we do something? And she said, no, because it's about all the hospital. It's not just your room. Why you have this kind of room that normally has to be hotter than normal? Help the women during labor, and they say that's it. So sorry for that. But I was shaky. So it's not cold like that's a little bit cold. I was shaking. It was freezing, and I started to contract myself. I felt my muscle more tense, and the contraction were more strong and not easy to manage. And I was alone. And I was like, where is my husband? And you always blame your husband, like he's lost somewhere. What happened, And so I called again the nurse. I said, it's almost 1 hour and my husband is not here, probably he's lost. I'm going to check. After 5 minutes, his husband came back and I said, where were you? He said, here, in front of the door. I ring the bell and nobody answered. He parked the car, he bring the bag. They said that he was not allowed to bring to me the bag. Okay, I'm not able to bring the bag to my wife. Okay, I will bring back to the car. And he went back. Nobody opened the door for him. And he's really a kind person, so he didn't fight for my bag. I was really angry with him. The rule of husband during the labor is not fight for the woman. He has to be there just for emotional support. They put monitoring. I would love to have the wireless to be able to move. I was stuck in the bed, elastic on my belly, and was hurting a lot. I'm not able to manage this situation. I need to take out the monitor. Again, so nurse angry, doctor angry, you are going to kill your son, we are not able to check on you. Evidence show intermittent monitoring is better, and continuous monitoring doesn't have better outcome. The doctor relaxed just when I said I'm going to sign that I'm conscious of the risk. They take out the monitor and they went away. I didn't see anybody. They disappeared.
So all the time I wasn't allowed to eat and I was starving. And when I asked food, they bring to me gelatin. I didn't eat for 12 hours.
I wasn't able to relax enough. I was alone in the room with my husband without any medical attention. I was breaking under my contraction. So I decided to ask for epidural. They did the epidural without problem. I accept the monitoring because of epidural, and then nothing happened. But I mean, also the contraction, dilatation stopped also. So they start to say that I need oxytocin, I need antibiotics because I broke in the midnight. And I started also stop fighting. Okay, do it. Because it was like, seems that everything was completely different from my expectation. I was unable to see the light, like, okay, I'm doing what I want and they are doing what I want. It was just, okay, let's do it. I'm going to have a medical birth. Okay, it's fine with me, but just do it in a good way. It was the active part of the labor, and that I had to push. I asked to the nurse. He said, no, you're not ready, so don't push. It's impossible not to push. So I tried, but at the end I was, no, I have to push. And if my body said that I have to, why I'm not following my body? So I called the nurse back and he checked on me and said, okay, you are ready, like 5 minutes after. So I don't know what changed, but still. And he left again. So I was pushing without knowing, because with the epidural I didn't felt so much. My feeling was I wasn't pushing well. It was like I was pushing in a wrong way. So I called him again. Can you suggest me a position to feel more my body or feel that better for the baby to go in the canal birth? I don't know, something, help me. No, you can choose whatever you want. You want to stay up, you can stay up. You can lay down, you can lay down. And he went away. So I said, okay, I'm going to push and we will see what happens. This is my wound, this is the time that I break down. Because I pushed with all my energy. Because this is what my rule, this is what I have to do. After 3 hours, alone in the room, I stopped. I just stopped. I lay down on the bed. I said, well, I can't. But I felt that was a really crucial point of the birth. So I said, I stopped pushing with my son in the canal birth. He's going to die because I'm not able to do that. I'm so tired. So I said to my husband, I'm done. I don't know what I can do now. I just feel so tired. So he called the nurse. He went back, checked on me, went outside, and then he went back with, I think, 5 doctors. They pushed away my husband. They closed the door and let my husband outside from the door. And I thought, okay, this is bad. And at the beginning, I felt, okay, I need help. And they are here to help me because I'm not able to push anymore. Then a doctor put the airborne on my belly and pressed, and I felt like a pain that was horrible. I started to scream and they pushed me back in the bed and they tried to stop my movement. So I wasn't unable to move. I was just screaming. And the other doctor, the doctor cut me. And I felt everything because I didn't have the anesthesia. So I screamed again. I said, you are cutting me. And so I feel everything. And he said, you don't have any more the epidurals? Oh, was like normal. Did again the anesthesia, so I didn't feel anymore on my leg. And I just felt that I was like stopping thinking. It's just do what I want, do what you want. Save my son, save me, but just do what you want. I'm off. I don't have energy to fight. I don't have energy to ask you anything. I don't have energy to do nothing. I'm just. You can do what you want. They give me my son. My husband arrived in the room, like 5 minutes. And then they asked him to go away again and left me alone. All the birth was a nightmare. So from the beginning, from when I arrived in the hospital, I think that my wound is the the time that I stopped pushing. This is when I felt that I was failing. But then also was horrible. So they cut me from my vulva to the anus. So I had like a lot of stitches. I had edema, swelling, and bruising. So they used ventosa to help my son to have birth. He had a problem with the neck because of that. The pain the day after, but also during the night, I need to pee. And I asked several times the nurses to help me to pee, and they was like, yeah, in a minute, yeah, we are coming, like every time with this attitude, that you're bothering me, I have other stuff to do. So they were able to help me. They tried to bring me to the bathroom, and I lost consciousness several times. I was bleeding on my leg. I saw like a lot of bleeding on the floor and on my leg, and I lost conscious again. I was able to pee a little bit, but it was enough to relieve a little bit my bladder. So they put me in the shower to wash the blood, but also there I lost consciousness, so they had to hold me. And I had, change diapers and breastfeeding, and the pain was so big. I was breastfeeding, and I asked also suggestion. I was like, I'm doing well. It's the right way to breastfeeding. They never check on me. The only nurse that stopped to talk with me, she gave me a nipple protector. And she said, you have to try with this. Without looking at me and checking on me, just use that. And I said, I don't need that. I just need advice. I just need attention. And I was also surprised because they did lesson how to give bath. I was thinking, why? You have to teach us how to bath a newborn, and you are not explaining anything about breastfeeding. We were all women in a room. I was not able to stand up. I wasn't unable to sit down because my bottom and all my intimate parts were hurting me. I felt really weak because I lost a lot of blood. Why I have to be here and listen this kind of lesson, and nobody's coming to check on me and see how I'm breastfeeding? My husband was allowed to come just in the afternoon, a few hours, and it was not enough. I need sleep, I need rest, so it was really, really a bad experience. Of the trauma of the first birth, I thought for a long time that I was unable to pass through another childbirth experience. This is my revenge. Christmas Day 2021, I spent most of my labor at home, was my wish. So I arrived to the hospital, was Garcia de Orta in Lisbon with my doula. I have my son after 1 hour and was completely natural birth. I didn't need a epidural, oxytocin, doctors. The contractions were like waves. My doula sent away all the doctors. A healthy woman, she doesn't need now any doctors. I was doing meditation, I used my knowledge in hypnobirth. Everything was perfect. I regret that my husband wasn't there. In all the world, the COVID was stopped. Everybody was able to walk on the street, but in the hospital, still using this kind of restriction. So COVID test, so my husband was unable to come in the hospital to visit me after the birth. When you have a good environment, the birth can go quick and easy and without complication. What I felt with the second birth was this big difference from a stress birth and cozy and loved natural birth. I felt in the second birth that I was brave, I was healthy. I was conscious about the magic of the birth.
Next, Silvia shares her postnatal experience after her first birth.